Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Getting Started with Dwarf Fortress, the tutorial series for new players, here with me, the Mucha Mouse. Last episode we looked at nobles, we assigned a bookkeeper, and we can see now that our bookkeeper is sitting around here working. If I hit Z again, I will see I now have accurate counts of all my stuff, how much drink I have, how much seed, how much food, our created wealth, our exported wealth. Everything is good. I have also assigned a manager. We'll see that the manager is our miner. I have found that the management happens so little that it's okay to use the miner, and my miners are pretty specialized. They do only mining. So as long as there's no dig jobs going on, they are basically idle. So they make for good managers. You might have a different setup. Your miner might not be the adequate organizer that my miner is, but whoever it is, it's fairly easily combined with other tasks, as long as that's not a very labor-intensive task. But what does the miner do, you might ask? You see here, sorry. What does the manager do? You might ask. He manages things, basically. Our bookkeeper works in here. Our manager will work in here once he needs to. I have allocated this office to him. But we have previously, when we make things, we have set up automated construction. Like I have automated the construction of bins and barrels based on a set point, like a range of, I want 2 to 4 of these lying around in storage. I want 8 to 10 beds lying around in storage. I also have for doors and blocks, thrones, coffins, tables, and rock mechanisms. I have much the same thing. I want X amount of these lying around, so just keep making them and keep me happy, right? But for some items, you might not want to have X amount of items lying around. You just sort of build to order. So if you decide, I would need, I'm going to make a well, or I'm going to chain up a couple of dogs near the gate. Well, you might need 2 chains, but you don't necessarily want to stockpile chains lying around. So you can go then to, by hitting Q, and going to your metalsmith's forge, and you say A, make, and that would be furniture, presumably, out of iron. Forge an iron chain. If iron is what you have, we don't have any metal right now, so this is pretty pointless, but pretend with me, right? So you could do that, but if you have like 3 metalsmith's forges, and you would like to sort of distribute the load out of there, like I have 3 things, I have 3 forges, I can make one, then I would have to go to each one and make each order. And as long as you don't set it to repeat, they'll just make the one and be done with it. But if I were to do that right now, they would just sort of suspend and cancel because, nah, we don't have any. If you're more interested in ordering up and then having it consume the goods you have while you produce more iron, for instance, the manager will be good for that. So how do we interact with the manager? Well, I'm skipping ahead a little bit. So, as I say, you could add up work orders here, one by one, and if they don't have enough, they're going to cancel, and you have to come back and re-queue it. But there's other ways to give work orders. Every workshop will, by default, take what's called global work orders from the manager, and the manager will distribute them if you distribute the local work order if there's more than one item to be made. So it will do the load balancing for you. It will re-queue it until it gets done. So it's just better for these kinds of things. So to interact with the manager, we're going to hit J for the jobs list. Well, first we have to go escape out of this. We're going to hit J for the job list. This gives us a list of all the dwarves and what they're doing. We're going to hit M for manager, and we see there are no active work orders. We can hit Q then to create a new work order. And then there's a long list of stuff here. We can go through and find whatever it is we need, but that's tedious. And it says in top here, type in parts of the name to narrow your search. So say I want chains. I type chain, and then I get chains. I can say, okay, I want iron chains. I would like 10 iron chains. And it goes in here. The manager will now come to his office. He will thus do some paperwork. This will turn into a check mark. And this will start counting down as the items are made. So that is a much more convenient way for us to make stuff that we don't really want to have on hand. We can just order it up from the stockpile or from the manager. Actually, I'm going to go in here and hit remove because I don't want any chains right now. That was just an example. But that's how the manager works. So now we have assigned 2 noble positions. We assigned the bookkeeper in the last episode. We assigned the manager in this, or in between episodes. And we have used the manager now to give some work order for something to be made. So that's going to be it for this episode. And in the next episode, we'll do something completely different. Probably assign a jeweler and do auto gems with DF Hack, because that is also convenient to get going right away. See you then.